up this hour. Just in the week of March 2nd, almost 200,000 people have watched The Office. But people have finished that, some even multiple times. Now, I know it's been a long couple of weeks with everyone in self-quarantine. People are doing different things. Most people are watching TV and movies all day. And it's come to a point where it seems that there just isn't enough content out there. So I'm going to send it out to David with a movie review and recommendation.
Thanks, Shua. So, over the past couple years, I heard the name Scarface being thrown around when talking about classic movies. So, I was curious, and I decided to watch for myself to see if it was worth being named as one of the greatest of all time. It was a rather long movie, with a runtime of 2 hours and 50 minutes. Knowing I was watching the movie for judging and not for enjoyment, I was intent on focusing on even the smallest of details. But despite my tenseness, I actually found myself really enjoying it. In a couple of sentences, the plot of the movie goes as follows. Tony Montana, a Scarface Cuban criminal, comes to America in search of the American dream. After a couple of months, Tony finds himself at the top of Miami's crime chain. Despite the obvious reference to Tony with the name Scarface, he is only called this name once throughout the whole movie, which happens to occur in Spanish, which translates to cara de cicatriz. With all that being said, my final conclusion is that yes, it deserves a spot at the all-time greats table. I highly recommend watching it, actually.
Sounds like that could really be something fun to pass some time. Maybe you'll even want to upgrade to the new iPhone SE to watch that. To be honest, it's pretty cheap, starting at $400, but with the trade-in, even cheaper. While some are attached to their devices all day, some choose to play sports and exercise. And with that, let's send it to the weather with Jacob.
Well, the weather for the next week, as we see, will be warmer than last week and rain on only 2 days. It will be in the 80s and 70s for the most part, mostly sunny. Because of the events currently happening around the world, there has been a decrease of carbon dioxide in major cities like LA and New York. This has given our planet a major break and pollution levels have gone down. If you were bored at home, there are many things that you can do outside. For instance, you can take a nice walk with your family, have a nice catch with your siblings or parents, get a nice tan in, or go biking or get a nice workout outside. These are just 5 things that you can do outside out of many things. But remember, stay 6 feet apart and keep your masks on.
Yes, absolutely. Safety first. Now, let's hope that rain just stays in the sky, as we're already pretty limited with the activities we can do. An interesting fact is that there's weather everywhere, even in North Korea. And with that, we're going to head to Yerachmiel with an update on North Korea's dictator, Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un, the supreme leader of North Korea, has taken a prolonged public leave of absence. Many rumors have spread around, from Kim being sick with coronavirus to even Kim might be dead. The basic unanswered question by the media and government intelligence, as well as whether or not the rumors are even true. However, America believes that Kim Jong-un is alive and well. The rumors are mixing, emerging, getting less reliable, the source said, adding the prospect of Kim dying soon was a remote possibility. The more likely scenario, the source added, was that Kim was still recovering. Many spottings of Kim Jong-un's buses or trains have been reported, but it's hard to believe it because they didn't actually see Kim.
Thanks for the fascinating update. Yerachmiel talked about how the sources were not too reliable. And with that, we're going to send out to Donnie with an interview with his sister. Pretty sure that's a reliable source. Let's cut to the interview.
Affected me because math is a lot harder online than in school. And a good thing is that projects are much shorter, and that's better.
Do you prefer Zoom school or actual school, and why?
I prefer actual school because we get to see our friends. And it's easier sometimes to learn with the teacher in the room, so they helped you more.
How has coronavirus affected your everyday life?
It affected me by not letting us go to the store as often as usual and letting me wake up later than we usually do on school days.
What do you hope to accomplish over the quarantine?
I hope to accomplish this project that I have, that you use little plastic diamonds and fill this sticky sheet with it, and it creates a beautiful picture. I have been practicing playing basketball and the skills of basketball with my dad.
How have you been keeping yourself busy and entertained over quarantine?
I've been doing projects that my grandmother and mother bought me on Amazon. About an 8.5-ish, I guess.
How have you managed to stay happy even with your siblings bothering you?
Well, they're not bothering me all the time, but if they are bothering me, I usually just yell at them and tell them to leave me alone.
What's the first thing you want to do when this quarantine is over?
I want to go see my best friend, Esty. The tip I have is for just to take a step outside, and if it's really nice outside, just go play outside, and yeah.
You, Donnie, that was very insightful. It's always good to hear what people think about the current situation. And through all the chaos, all sports have been interrupted. Let's get an update with Eitan with the sports.
Thank you, Shua. As we all know, COVID-19 is creating a huge problem in the sports world. All sports, ranging from the professionals to little leagues, are on hold. So there isn't much talk if you want to hear about current scores. But there is a huge discussion on when or if at all these sports will continue. As of now, the MLB, Major League Baseball, has already thought of having games with no fans in warmer places, such as Florida, Arizona, and even Vegas, where they don't even have an MLB team. The NHL and NBA seasons are both doing the same by waiting to see what they can possibly do with their seasons. The NHL has already asked stadiums what their plans are for the summer. And what they mean by this is they might look into continuing in the summer, which has never been done. And at the end of the day, just like this virus, we really don't know a lot about it, and if at all these seasons will continue. It's all based on when the U.S. decides to reopen the country, and they will do so when it's safe.
Thanks, Eitan. Also, the NFL draft this year had 55 million viewers, making it the most viewed draft ever. That's all for this hour here on CNN is Fake News News. Thanks, and have a great night. And remember, CNN is fake news.